The 1987 Christmas Rampage. Hi, my name is Ethan, and trigger warning, this is a dark case. On December 28, 1987, Ronald Gene Simmons walked into a law firm in Russellville, Arkansas, where he shot at a receptionist that he was infatuated with. However, she didn't like him in return. Then he went into an office building of an oil company and shot two executives, unaliving one and injuring the other. He then drove to a convenience store and a former place of work and shot two more people. However, thankfully they both survived. And the last place he went to was a Woodline Motor Freight Company where he shot a woman. However, she did survive as well. After all of these brutal attacks were committed, he then sat down and waited for police to arrest him. His motive was unknown. However, he was sentenced to death and then unalived on June 25th, 1990.
Horrifying websites on the internet that you should never visit, Part 1. GoodbyeWarden.com gives the last words of 565 Texas inmates who were executed on death row. And some of the statements are absolutely gut-wrenching, with many asking someone to take care of their children when they're gone, and others insisting upon their innocence. Deathdate.info is a dark, morbid site that asks you to enter your name, age, weight, and height before spitting out the exact date that it thinks you're going to die. The site also provides you with 3 words that it says will be related to your death in some way. PlaneCrashInfo.com has an extensive database filled with recordings, pictures, and transcripts of the final moments of a plane crashing. And MidnightInTheDesert.com has unedited footage of the 67 exorcisms of Annalicia Mikkel. And trust me, her demonic screams will haunt your nightmares.
Whatever you do, do not wear red. In the 1940s, a series of mysterious disappearances occurred in Vermont, in an area known as the Bennington Triangle. 6 people disappeared, one after the other. What seemed like a strange coincidence was that all 6 were wearing red. Glastonbury Mountain is at the center of the triangle. 6 persons went missing in the area between 1943 and 1950, and none of the cases were ever solved. What was the same for all of them was that they all disappeared into thin air, and they were wearing red. The Bennington Triangle has a history of UFO sightings, Bigfoot attacks, and Native American curses. Many people also claim that the area is a window to another dimension because of the many strange occurrences. Due to everyone eventually choosing to move, the town has become a ghost town. But although the town is completely deserted and abandoned, a series of mysterious deaths continues. However, if you ever visit Glastonbury Mountain, just make sure that, is this mummy actually blinking? Deep in the Italian catacombs, a mystery lies hidden behind a glass case. This is the body of 2-year-old Rosalia Lombardo, who died of the Spanish flu in 1920. Her father, in a moment of despair, asked a taxidermist to preserve her body as perfectly as possible, and preserve her he did, down to her hair, skin, organs, and even her eyes. But something strange has been reported by visitors to the catacombs. One day visitors reported seeing the girl blinking several times a day. Despite the disbelief of many, reports of the child's blinking eyes persist. A documentary team was called in to investigate, and they captured what they believed to be the explanation. It's an optical illusion caused by lighting and temperature fluctuations throughout the day. The mystery of the blinking mummy may never be fully solved.
You wanna know what's funny, but not like haha funny? For all the jokes they get, the biggest problems in Australia are the ones that aren't supposed to be there. Like, did you know there's a rampant feral camel problem down there right now? It's exactly what it sounds like. So a bunch of camels were airdropped from British India and Afghanistan way back when for like transportation and stuff. Well, the camels started cameling and nobody was about to stop them. Because me personally, I don't have the tools to block a camel, and I'm sure you don't either. And around the 1920s, people started using cars, so the camels pretty much got abandoned. But like, one does not simply abandon camels and not see consequences. The consequences were that in the 70s, there were an estimated 20,000 feral camels in Australia. Today, that number's escalated to... that is a comma. About 1 million, give or take, probably give. The government did say it was on site with the desert donkeys, but it's the same country that lost the war to an overgrown, undercooked drumstick. Not only are these camels raising farmers' blood pressures, some of these camels will pull up pipes and destroy toilet blocks. Because again, who gonna stop them? Sometimes they get attracted to the moisture in AC units and attempt to break into houses. One time a herd of 6,000 pulled up on a small town of about 300 people looking for water. Cause only in Australia would the chances of being jumped by a pack of sand llamas over a glass of Poland Springs have the audacity to not be zero.
Cosas que los humanos debemos ver antes de morir, parte 41.
Jugando aquí con mi hija y con mi sobrino. Aquí estamos. Y de repente se puso Alexa y está haciendo estos ruidos. Ay, no. Se abrió la puerta. Métanse abajo de las cobijas. Métanse abajo de las cobijas. No me... Se abrió la puerta. ¿Vivi? Alexa, ya cállate. Amigos, Alexa me está hablando otra vez. Alexa me está hablando, amigos. ¿La ventana? Ahí está el jardín. No mames, no mames, no mames, no mames, no mames.
Cosas que los humanos debemos ver antes de morir, parte 45.
Alright, so I'm thinking creepy doll is gonna go with the creepy books, right? That's the best one. Stop! Remy! Remy? Stop! Stop messing with the lights. Elijah!
Blown down, they're made of styrofoam. Either way, the creepiest building on the block is always going to be. Anyway, I thought about like adding stuff to it, but Jim, I get it, man. Just gonna stare at each other for like what? You got me. I don't know what the fuck their problem is. I keep doing this shit. I'm just gonna stare at him then. Fuck it, right? Fuck, man. Come on, get out, man. Get out. Come on. Go. Right, just go to your room. It's fine. No, just stay in your room. Fuck! What do you fucking want, man? Who's there? Who's that? Come out!
This is why you should fear for your life if you buy or sell items on Facebook Marketplace. 56-year-old Denise Williams of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, wanted to buy a refrigerator for her boyfriend. She found one listed on Facebook Marketplace. The seller was 26-year-old Joshua Gorgon. Denise went to his apartment alone to check out the fridge, but never came out. On Monday, she was reported missing by her family, and police were able to track her using her phone and information from a Facebook account. She was found dead from multiple stab wounds at Joshua's apartment. Joshua was arrested and charged with criminal homicide. When he was interviewed by Cambria County detectives, he admitted to stabbing Williams to death with a kitchen knife following an argument over the cost of the refrigerator. Reddit user Wolfhound227 was exploring the basement of an abandoned church, all alone, when all of a sudden he heard footsteps coming from up above him.
Below the church right now. You'll hear it again. Yep.
So, what do you guys think? Is this something that's easily explainable? Or is this paranormal?
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 12. When a person is electrocuted via electric chair, they feel absolutely everything. They're completely aware of their body being deep fried in real time. And one person who survived the first round of electrocution said it tasted like cold peanut butter. As you're watching this video, your internal organs are constantly moving around inside you. Your armpit is where most of your important nerves in your arms are, so if you stab it, it will leave your arm completely useless. Ted Bundy, the serial killer, used to work at a suicide hotline. Scaphism was a form of ancient torture where someone's body was tied between two boats and they were covered in milk and honey, and bugs and other animals would feast on their body for days. Cotard's delusion is a rare condition where people literally think they're dead, and many of them ask to be taken to a cemetery to be with other dead people.
Horror movies based on true events. The Strangers.
The most painful things a human being can experience. Part 1. The sting of a bullet ant is far worse than any other insect. Dr. Justin Smith in his Sting Pain Index stated that being stung feels like walking over flaming charcoal with a 3-inch rusty nail in your heel. The Maui tribe in Brazil initiates their young men by making them put a hand in a glove filled with these insects for 5 minutes straight. In 2016, YouTuber Coyote Peterson put this pain upon himself, and his reaction was not pretty.
This is why you should never use Snapchat. This story took place in 2015 when a young boy and girl were Snapchatting each other late at night. The boy and girl were just sending Snapchats back to each other, making goofy faces and just having a normal conversation. After a while of them sending Snapchats back and forth to each other, the boy realized there was a silhouette in the young girl's window. The young boy then asked the girl, "Hey, I didn't know you had a brother. Does he go to our school?" She replied to the boy saying, "No, I'm actually a single child. Why do you ask?" The boy still saw the outline of the man and told the girl, "Look behind you now. I think somebody's watching you." Right when the young girl turned around, she saw the man staring at her. The young girl screamed as loud as she could and ran straight to her parents' room. When the parents went into the young girl's room, the window was completely shattered and the only thing left was a note on her bed. The note said, "See, this is what happens when you talk to other boys." The man who did this tragedy was never to be found again.
Haunted items in the Warren Occult Museum. The Pearls of Death, a seemingly innocent string of pearls, has a reputation of being dangerously powerful. At first glance, they appear to be a luxurious accessory fit for royalty, but the truth is far from it. The Pearls of Death are known to have a deadly curse, and those who dare to wear them face dire consequences. According to legend, the first woman who wore the pearls reported feeling a sudden constriction around her neck, almost as if she was being strangled. Despite her desperate attempts to remove the necklace, it took multiple people to finally set her free from its grasp. This incident has led to widespread fear and caution when it comes to wearing the Pearls of Death. Some believe that the necklace was cursed by a Satanist or black magic worshipper before it was given to the unfortunate woman. And others claim that the pearls just have a mind of their own. People have been wary of wearing the Pearls of Death, and the rumors of its strangling powers have only fueled the fear and fascination surrounding the artifact. While there is no scientific evidence to support these claims, the Pearls of Death continue to intrigue many who visited the occult museum. Some might say that the only way to break the curse is to perform a blessing by a holy person, but there are very few brave enough to test the validity of this theory. The glamour and beauty of the pearls may be tempting, but the price of wearing them is probably not worth the risk, so best believe just to see them in a photo at the museum.
Let's take a look at one of the most interesting and terrifying short films on the internet. Creatures of the End Time by Moonprod.
The video begins by showing us footage of a terrifying gargantuan creature walking slowly across the horizon. The creature is followed closely by a massive tornado which it is completely unfazed by, a demonstration of its immense power and size. The camera then pans around to show us a deserted town. Throughout the town, we are exposed to a multitude of mysterious humanoid shadows that appear to have been separated from their owners. These shadows could just be symbolic, representing a happier time now lost to us. However, they also bear a striking resemblance to the so-called death shadows that can be found after the usage of a nuclear bomb. If that's the case, it means that the military has already attempted to eliminate this creature using the most powerful weapon known to man. And it didn't work. The person filming then ominously declares, "They're here," and we are shown footage of a flock of birds fleeing in one direction, an indicator of disaster before the film comes to an end. In other apocalyptic stories, there is a sense that if we can just survive this event, things will be okay, our lives will go back to normal, and we can begin to rebuild our world. The terror of this film is that it strips that hope away from us. There is no surviving. This is the end. Leave a comment if you're watching this at night, and follow for more.
If you're about to drink cold water, don't. I saw this video today with this guy who was obviously a doctor or something, and it literally made me think, what the... So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a video on it. Basically what he was saying is that cold water is actually really bad for you. What? First of all, it's, you know, you can't drink alcohol, you can't do this, can't do that, but now you can't even drink flipping water. Apparently cold water is actually really bad for your health and your digestive system. I don't know how. Apparently we should all be drinking more water. That's not gonna happen. What the hell's going on? What do they want us to do? Just drink or eat nothing? Because it seems like everything is bad for us now. So I mean, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna enjoy my life, do what the hell I want. So honestly, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts and hit that follow button. I'll keep you updated on everything.
Let's talk about what happened to 13-year-old Rachel Mellon Skimp. She was born on October 13th of 1982 and lived in Melrose Park in Illinois. At the age of 3, her parents divorced and her dad moved to Dallas and her mom stayed with her in Illinois. Eventually, her mom started seeing a man named Vincent, and eventually they got married and had 2 children together. Rachel was described as a bubbly person with a great sense of humor. She was the life of the party and was always the most beautiful girl in the room. On January 30th of 1996, Rachel was at school and was having a normal school day, and as the day went on, her friends noticed that she was crying by her locker, so they went to go ask what was wrong. She said she was having a problem, but that she was going to fix it herself, and that is all she said. The following day, on Wednesday, January 31st, Rachel decided to stay home from school because she was having a sore throat and was feeling kind of sick. So her mom left to work and her stepfather was going to stay home because he wasn't working at the moment. Rachel called her grandma to thank her for the Christmas gifts that she had sent her, and this call took like from 4 to 5 minutes, and her grandma said that this phone call was completely normal, nothing out of the ordinary, but she did notice that at one part in the phone call, Rachel was kind of quiet, and her grandma said, "Is he there?" referring to her stepfather, and she said yes, and then Rachel told her grandmother that she needed to hang up. Her stepfather stated that they played the Nintendo before she decided to go up to her room and take a nap. So once she was upstairs taking a nap, he decided to take the family dog for a walk, even though it was 20 degrees below zero. So he left at 2:30 p.m. and then ended up coming at 3 p.m. He said the reason that he took a while is because the dog broke free from the leash and he was not able to get him, so he just figured that the family dog would just find his way back eventually. At 3:15 p.m., Vincent's youngest daughter comes home and she goes straight to Rachel's room to greet her, and that's when she realizes that Rachel's not even there. So the youngest daughter tells her dad that it seems that Rachel is missing, that she's not even in her room, but he just doesn't seem to care. So once her mom gets home, the youngest daughter tells her that Rachel's missing from her room, so that is when her mom decides to call 911 and report her as missing. Stay tuned for part